Hey, and welcome to Film Flashback Face Off.
Hey, you got it right this time.
Hey,
That's
look
right,
at that.
motherfuckers.
It's because I just said it.
That's
before we
right,
started
motherfuckers, because Ray just said it. Welcome to Flippity Flap Floop Floop.
Floop, baby, flap, flap.
Who are
What's
you?
up, people? I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Jason.
And I'm Ray.
Carl.
Carl.
Yeah,
Carl.
that was a good Carl.
It sounded just like Carl. You have to make it all muffled sound. Carl.
Yes, unfortunately, Carl is traveling, so he can't join us this week. This week, we're going to be doing a fantastic film that
Fucking break the ice with this motherfucker.
Richie forced us to watch this. I've seen it, and the first time I saw it, I never wanted to see it again. Now I had to see it again. It is called Rad from 1986. That's 1986. Rad. But before we get into Rad, I got a new segment on the show. It's called What's My Beef? I was watching Harry Potter. Well, my wife was rewatching all the Harry Potters.
Right.
And I would like cruise in and out of them. But something I realized when we got to Prisoner of Azkaban.
Hagrid's an idiot.
No. Yeah, Hagrid is.
Lovable idiot.
But Potter's Nimbus 2000 gets shattered into fucking toothpicks, right?
Right.
So at the end, he gets a package from Sirius Black, and it's a new Nimbus 3000, whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, it was well established in the first Harry Potter that Harry Potter is pretty well off. He was left a lot of money. After he snapped his fucking broom, why didn't he just buy another fucking broom? He's got the scratch. He could have bankrolled the whole team.
Or better yet, just use magic to fix it.
Yeah, why didn't he go like, reverse it, Ficeticus.
Reversio.
Reversio El Brachio.
But the thing is, he could easily afford a new broom.
And
Why does he got to wait for gifts? And why does he act poor all the time?
That is true. Remember, he bought all the candy in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. When they were on the train.
Yeah, that's why Ron became his best friend. Ron was like, I'm hanging out with money bags over here.
Money bag.
Richie Rich.
Nobody uses magic to like just summon money or rob banks.
But I mean,
I would use money
Missed
to rob
opportunity.
banks like a
but
motherfucker.
Hagrid brought him right to the vault. There were piles of coins or whatever currency they used.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like he had tons of money.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I would probably hang out with Voldemort. He'd be like part of my crew. I'd be like, yeah, we're going to go fuck shit up. I'm in.
I mean, if you think about it, Harry Potter could have bribed his way all through Hogwarts and done whatever he
Seriously.
He could have bribed everybody.
And it wasn't even after him. He was after Neville the whole time. Neville was like the main guy. It wasn't never Harry Potter in the first place. Wasn't like the whole reveal at the end.
I hear you're looking for a better wand. Maybe I can help you out with that. You just need to do me one favor. And that day may never come.
Until that day, take this as a gift on my daughter's wedding day.
I just noticed that Jim's background, there's the sun shining through. It's 7 p.m. here in Arizona. And because it's summer, like it's still sunny in California right now. This late.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. The
Still kind of light
time zone
outside.
difference. It's a little light, but it's like sun setting right now. But it looks like mid-afternoon in Jim's house.
The second pre-movie thing I wanted to bring up was I was watching a YouTube video by of this former astronaut, test pilot, blah, 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 flew the space shuttle, went to the International Space Center, blah, 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 did everything, right?
Right.
And he refutes Richie's one. He was talking about Top Gun Maverick and how much he loved that movie. So his YouTube videos where he critiques space and flying movies.
Right.
And says like what's realistic, what isn't, blah, 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 that type of stuff. Right. So he loved Top Gun Maverick. Thought it was one of the best aviation movies he's ever seen. And Richie, you often bring up the fact that you think that when he ejected out of the Mach 10 plane, that he died and everything happened in his head.
Correct.
Correct. Because how could he survive ejecting out of a Mach 10 plane? Well, apparently you can survive ejecting out of a Mach 10 plane because you don't eject out of the plane. You eject in a pod.
I don't give a fuck.
And
It's
when you're
Mach 10.
what?
It's Mach 10.
Yeah, and you're in a protected environment. Your whole cockpit gets locked in and ejected.
Okay. So
he said you certainly can survive a Mach 10 ejection.
That's pretty rad.
But he was probably realistically probably like at Mach 7 or Mach 8 because the engine blew and
that's right. He slowed down.
He slammed the brake and then the camera went out. So he clearly slowed down.
Yeah, so that's only Mach 7. Anyone could survive that. Man, I've done 3 Mach 8 ejections.
If you can survive a Mach 10, then you can survive a Mach 8. I'm just saying he slowed down. If you want to get technical.
Yes, he slowed down before he died. You're absolutely right.
All right, that's all I got.
They also said that Grease is a whatchamacallit.
Is a fantasy movie? Yeah. Everyone. Guess what?
She drowned.
Every movie
she drowned
takes place in someone's head.
She drowned. She drowned, and Danny was saving her. And she never left the beach, and that's why at the end she was they were rising because she was going to heaven. I buy that. It's a good one. Sandy, yep, it was all in her head right before she died. Same thing with Maverick. Fuck Maverick.
We should dedicate an episode to film theories or fan theories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fan theories. That's a lot of fun.
And again,
nutty fan theories.
Maverick had some great flying in it. They would have just sent drones. Just saying. We're going to send a couple drones. That's some fancy flying, buddy. We're not going to send anybody. We're going to send a drone. We're going to blow up that little thing.
Rad. Short for radical.
So we're done with the Jim's.
That was my the Harry Potter
really
thing.
Grinds my gears.
The Harry Potter thing got me because I'm sitting there. I was just sitting there going, he's got money. What does he need these gifts for?
Or an education. He's rich.
So what's the name of the segment?
Why go to college?
What's the beef?
What's my beef?
What's my beef?
You can have a beef as well, Richie.
No, I understand it, but we should call it yelling at clouds. Because that's what it is.
That one there's looking at me weird.
Oh, it's cold and there are wolves after me.
Anyway, Rad. 1986.
Short for Radical. Directed by Hal Needham. Who's Hal Needham, of course? He was a stuntman and a very good friend of Burt Reynolds, who started directing stunt scenes and then started directing movies. And obviously he got better when he got to the Smokey and the Bandits and stuff. Plus, he had better actors in those movies too. But this one starred Bill Allen.
Oh, Billy boy.
Who sat on a bike a lot through this movie. Didn't do any stunts, but he sat on that bike. Lori Loughlin, also a bike sitter, who turned into a man a couple of times while she was riding on a bike.
Yeah, that was some funny stuff.
You don't know that for sure.
Oh man, those wigs.
All of a sudden, his shoulders got very wide.
Yeah. And her chin double.
Or that horrendous wig that's just sticking out of the ball cap.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Talia Shire was in this movie.
She owed a favor.
The whole time I watched this movie, that's what I thought. I'm like, who did she owe? Because she was just so. Talia Shire, her performance, I'm like, she's too good for this movie. Like, yeah, she owed somebody a favor. It's clear.
She still doesn't celebrate when the person she loves most wins, just like in the Rocky movies.
So,
it's just like.
So what's the premise, Richie?
Go to college.
Since you love this movie so much, what's the premise of this movie?
Yeah,
the evil, evil corporate sponsors are coming into small town suburbia and using their kind hearts and money to create Hell Track, the greatest BMX track there is.
Oh,
Itself.
God. It's
Yeah.
so unbelievable.
So that is the premise. And then some Karen stands up and like, what about our boys? And,
The
and
whole
then
idea is
on the fly, he's like, we're just gonna let someone ride, and if they qualify, they'll be
grand.
able to totally race.
I'm pretty sure that actor is drunk the entire set for like real. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he was.
He went.
drinking on
He
set.
also got
And what do you win when you win Hell Track?
$100,000
And a Corvette.
No,
And a Corvette.
and then 100,000.
yeah,
No, it wasn't the 10,000 for him.
10,000 was just
Qualifying.
him
Qualifying.
100,000
Yeah.
for.
So he would
Hell
get
Track.
100,000, and then the Corvette.
All right. For those who have never seen the movie,
It's fucking
Raymond
awesome.
and Jesse Jason, what
Debatable.
is your opinion of the movie? Oh, this movie
What did it cost?
was not titled Rad everywhere else except America. It was Rad in America. Everywhere else, it was called Hell Track.
That would have been a better name.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not the original title that they were going to use for this movie. The original title was Balls Out.
Because you can break the ice inside of me.
Okay.
I mean, it had a bike dance scene.
Oh,
Raymond, Richie, zip your
Go ahead,
lip.
Ray.
This is
All right, go ahead.
not your time for reaction.
All right.
Want me to go first this time? Okay.
Yeah, you'll get more
Wow.
technical, and I can feed off of you.
Okay.
Comments.
The way that, just for our listeners, the way I do this is I do take notes and I just write the notes down as they come up as I'm watching the movie. So I try and do it in sequential order. So you gotta like think back to the beginning of the movie and we'll just go through it. But
Normally he writes it from smallest to biggest. It ends up. It's just the same thing. What the fuck? What the
and,
fuck?
like, with edits.
What the fuck? And then really, really big at the bottom. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, that is a really better 3-letter word for the name of the movie, WTF, than RAD, because it was anything but rad. This was a terrible, cheesy 80s movie. I don't think I've seen anything worse. I thought it felt like they were trying to make fun of cheesy 80s movies because it hit every cliche
It's funny.
that it could
I've
possibly
never
hit.
seen anything worse.
Never seen
What?
it anywhere. It was so bad.
Well, we did. We saw the Fat Kid Camp movie. That was 10
Oh,
times
come
worse.
on.
No, that had a story. And
Oh,
it
you're-
had
you're
in the minority with that,
cliches.
man.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
I'd
It
rather
starts with
watch.
a
I hated the Fat Kid Camp movie, and I'd much rather watch that than this movie.
I just watched
So-
that
so-
again.
Richie was kind of singing the theme song, and Richie even sounds better than the actual song that comes on ad nauseum. I watched
Thank
the
you, Ray.
end credits. I watched all the way to the end credits. There are 3 songs by the main guy who wrote these like original songs for this movie, and they all sound so the same. It sounds like the same song, just in different parts of the movie. Anyway, it starts with a terrible song. Only you could break the ice with these BMX guys that. Honestly, out of the whole movie were probably the best things. The 2 mullet guys that were in the intro and the outro, just jumping around on their bicycles, were the most entertaining part, I thought. Talk about just promotional ads throughout this whole movie. 7-Eleven, Coke, Mongoose, like it felt like a big commercial.
Kicks.
It literally felt like a commercial. Like, let's throw some bikes into
Vans.
it. Vans, yeah.
I mean, you have to remember back then, like that's what they were looking for. They were looking for any kind of exposure.
Yeah, I get that. But
Okay.
the thing with these 80s movies, and this one in particular, it's like, okay, we get it's about BMX bikes, but like literally everything in the movie is with a BMX bike. Like they're wearing their gloves, they're riding gloves, and they're not riding. They have to deliver newspapers in all these crazy, funky ways at the very beginning of the movie.
Well, he was just
It's-
trying to,
They're showing his
beat his
talent.
personal best.
Yeah, he was. That was it. That was bad. The Hell Track idea. I love that it's pitched to like Middleton, USA, to a bunch of like white conservatives that are just sitting around in a meeting. It's like, hey, we're gonna throw a Hell Track BMX bike race. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make a lot of money. And they're
Filmed
like, yes,
entirely
that's-
in Canada, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was Canadian.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, sure.
Interesting. The lead of this movie, Cruiser, I think is his full name, but they call him Crew for short.
Well,
that's
actually not his name.
Cruiser.
That's his nickname, Cruiser, because he's called that a couple of times. He is called once by his mother, Christopher.
Yeah, I would have picked Cruiser too if I was born Christopher.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
The lead actor, this actor, he looks
not
like
Cruiser.
He's supposed to be playing a high schooler.
Sorry,
He looks like 30-year-old Mark Hamill that's either too tired or high or melting, like a melting Mark Hamill. He is so old and he's supposed to be in high school. I just don't get it. He's terrible. He has like one tone. Everything about him I hate throughout the whole movie.
He did look like a Muppet.
Yeah, he did
like only have that one tone.
He had that like droopy
semi yell.
Yeah,
droopy eye.
He had droopy eyes. He's like it was like he was like wearing a Mark Hamill mask.
And the evil villain wasn't an actor at all, you know. Not the evil villain. The kid. The kid.
He was like a real BMXer.
He was a gymnast.
Oh,
Scott. What the fuck was his name? Bart Connor. He was an Olympic gold medalist.
That's crazy. Like on bikes or
no.
Gymnast. Oh, you said gymnast. That's right.
And
wow.
He said he gets recognized more for this movie than for winning his gold medal.
As well he should.
That's funny.
Damn shame.
Yeah, the whole thing felt like a Mongoose ad. I remember growing up like Mongoose was like the best bike, and I feel like they kind of maybe because of this movie, I don't know, because it came out in '86.
It's funny they lent their name to being part of the evil corporation that
I know, they're like the bad guys. Yeah. The parade was so boring. That was a crazy, dumb parade that made no sense. And then speaking of no sense, why not have a dance with BMX bikes and have it like everybody in the background of this movie is so excited for BMX bikes. Like the racing, the dancing, the parade, everybody's just elated with BMX kids.
The local cop.
The local cop who is the most stereotypical looking cop. He's like right on at the end, you know.
It's so funny to me how all these 80s movies, like especially these sports ones, like the towns are behind these ridiculous sports.
Yeah, they're like super in.
They're like this movie.
Let's do this.
What about that housewife that had the hots for him?
He's such a nice boy.
Oh,
really nice young man.
Oh, keep your eye on the one in red. He's such a nice man.
Yeah, and then Crew and his friends are being menaces and like riding their bikes over people's cars and
they all read USA Today.
Yeah, you get it, Crew. Get out of here.
And they all read USA Today. Not like a real newspaper. They all read the USA Today.
But like the whole dance scene was ridiculous. Like it was like slow-mo. And you could obviously tell they're on rigs. Like they're not even like they're like on like stationary bike things that are like on a platform.
So you're saying Lori Loughlin couldn't do those?
No, the whole idea of her being a badass biker is hilarious too. I just could not get over like how dumb that sounded. Like she did not fit that role at all.
When she came around, that didn't look realistic.
No, like and it was all in slow-mo. Like they were trying to look like figure dancers, like ice skating. That's what it felt like. And then go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say it's like the dance is already ridiculous enough with like those twin guys, the twin dudes dancing, and they're like having a dance off and like, oh, these BMXers. And then what's with the announcers? I've never had announcers at every fucking event.
Bicycle boogie.
Oh, look at we got ourselves two BMXers. It's like
bicycle boogie. Here we go.
Just to interrupt real quick, this episode should have totally been a video podcast because the fucking faces Jay is making while Ray is giving his shit is fucking priceless.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't realize that. The friggin' announcer goes through the whole movie.
Yeah.
For every event, he's
That's
there.
That's a good point. He's in every event. It's the same guy.
Yeah. He's just there.
And you don't even notice it. Yeah.
I'm gonna hire someone just to announce shit all the time for me.
But the whole movie,
like, walk around with a little PA.
Yeah.
There's like almost I don't want to say no, but there's very little like actual talking in this movie. It's just montage after montage of like a cheesy, terrible love story. They barely meet. They don't even talk to like, hey, you want to go like
Ass
what they
sliding.
call ass slide into a lake and then
Fuck
hang out
yeah.
all day.
Fully
And she's like
ass
throwing
sliding.
rocks behind him and trying to be all cute and running around. I'm like, I hate this movie the whole time. Like, how many cheesy 80s songs can they fit into it? Not one is even good or recognizable. Dude, the 80s has like some of the best freaking songs,
Send Me
and
an
this has
Angel was a
none of
hit.
them. None. The BMX stuff during the final race too was so annoying. Like, at least North Shore got it great. Like, there were some awesome scenes of some surfing. The BMX stuff in this movie isn't even that good. It's super boring. They keep showing the same races over and over and the same shots over and over.
But
You see it
even
3
the
times
same
each
dancing
race.
stunts on the
Yes,
were the same over and over.
Yeah.
After the 8-minute
Nothing's
credit opening, it went on
God.
for 8 minutes.
Guys, they
It's-
didn't have a huge budget.
$3 million, pal.
Yep.
But like, everything is boring and oversimplified. It's formulaic, the bad guy, good guy, underdog thing, the spunky, tough little sister that cusses all the time, the mom that disapproves for him not going to college, and finally comes around at the end, and then like, oh, we're bros, man. You beat me good.
Self-destructive.
Even though like the bad guy was super winning, and he just stops to let him catch up and then loses. Like,
Yeah,
I made no sense. Like, I'm like, what is going on in this?
He said, "Come and get me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let's
but
do this."
he was clearly the best, and he let Crew catch up to him. So I'm like, all right. So
But
he's
did
not
he
the best writer
though?
in town.
Did he let him catch up to him? Because I'm sure he took off when Crew was a good 5 bike lengths behind him. That's when he took off. So he didn't really let him catch up.
Yeah. And then the hell track itself, the whole point of this movie is like hell track. Dude, it just has a giant cereal bowl in the middle, and then like one jump where you have to make it.
Well-
the hell track.
well, hold
and
on.
It's a super small little track, and there's like not even much to it.
Hold on. I have some little tidbits about Hell Track.
Oh boy.
One is where the first iteration of Hell Track, none of the bike BMXers would go down that big ramp because it was apparently much larger than it was in the movie.
Yeah, that thing was insane.
They cut it down to 25 feet
What was it,
in the
50
movie.
feet?
They didn't say how high, but none of the riders would go down it. They said,
Oh wow.
Number 2 is no one made a successful lap of Hell Track. They'd have to film it. They filmed it in sections because not one rider was able to make one lap.
So it really was a hell track. I
Yeah.
just don't know anything about BMX racing. That's my I have nothing to compare it to. And then the other thing was like those girls, like the hooker looking girls that like had purpose in the movie but no purpose. Like, why did they even have any scenes? Like, they're following around shopping at one point for no reason. I'm like, is this just filler? Like, I just don't get this. Yeah, and then the twins were weird. They dress alike. It's like
Rod and Rex?
Rod.
Oh,
Dude, their outfits while dancing, the space-looking outfits were
yeah.
awesome.
I was sitting. No, check this out. I'm sitting next to my wife, and I go, "Did they just enter a science fiction movie?" I said because they look like they're wearing space outfits.
Even the girl.
No,
it looks like
they seriously were wearing space outfits. They borrowed the costumes from a TV series at the time called V, which was about lizards dressing up like humans and coming and pretending to be friends while looking.
That would make more sense for this movie in that scene, like of how they dress and dance.
Again,
At the end, they're all just revealed to be lizard people in human suits, and that's why they dance on bicycles, and they can only go with bicycles everywhere.
When I saw Rex and Dex and Rex or whatever their fucking names are, Rod and Rex, again, I was just like, that's a good Halloween costume for Ray and Jay right there.
Nobody will get to.
No one will know what it is.
Nobody.
I'll be like, it's from the movie Rad. What? What's Rad? Well, here, let me try and tell you about it. Well, that sounds like a terrible movie. That's what it is. Hate you for making me watch this. That's my rant. I'm done.
All right.
By the way, that dude, the main dude in this movie, Bill Allen or whatever the hell his name is, he wrote a book, an autobiography later called My Rad Life.
What? One part of your life where you're too old to play the role and you look like Mark Hamill?
But wait a minute. He looked too old for the role, but his best bud,
Luke,
looked way older than him.
Yeah. I don't know. Just everything about it was just so cheesy. And like it was trying to be serious. So that's what's worse about it. Like if it was trying to make fun of cheesy 80 movies, maybe it'd be funny. But I don't
All
know.
right.
I didn't like it.
Nice. Well, so yeah, this movie is shit. I'm sorry, Richie. But yeah, so right when I started watching it, before I started watching it, I said, okay, I need to lower my expectations to the lowest they've ever been because this movie's I already knew it was gonna be bad just from the picture and from the title. I figured it was gonna be shit right when I started watching it, and then all I could think about when I started it was, is this opening intro song ever going to end? And when is the actual movie going to start?
All the songs take so long.
It took
Like 20 minutes of the movie
forever.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The acting was horrendous. Yeah, when I saw Talia Shire, I was just like, yeah, she clearly owes somebody because she's way above this movie. And she was only in like a couple scenes just to get mad at her son.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said, Ray. Apparently she doesn't get happy for anything, Rocky or her teenage son in a movie. But yeah, it was just one ridiculous scene after another, especially with the prom or the dance, and they just show up in the bikes and they do like the synchronized bike with Lori Laughlin, and the announcer guy is just like, oh, look what we got here. And then all I could think about too is like, so they're having like a dance off at this school dance, but there's only two people competing minus, and then like it's just the twins with that girl and then the guy and the girl, and then like the BMXers come in, the announcer like makes the announcement, and then they get all this time to do their shit. Of course they win. And then the very next scene is another musical montage of him and Lori Laughlin going down this slide fully clothed and just like playing around and and it's just like, what the fuck
Montage
is
at the montage.
I was
Could someone
laughing out
explain to
loud.
me why he fucking took off right after that
Yeah.
dancing?
Yeah.
Like,
Trying to
why
be cool
did
and
he
mysterious.
leave?
He was actually kind of a jerk to some people throughout the movie. He's like, go away to like that one chick that's like when you're sharing that ice cream. He's kind of like a jerk to people.
Yeah, and even before at the prom, he was just doing tricks in front of the school, and everyone's like, "Yeah, go crew!"
Yeah.
It's like, what the?
And what kind
We've all
of
seen that kid in high school.
apology?
Nobody's paying attention
And
to
what
him.
kind of what kind of lame ass apology was that to Laurie Laughlin, where he points the thing? Oh, you want to be my friend? Let's eat the ice cream. It's
coaster.
like,
It was
You
so
wanna be my
ridiculous.
friend?
Oh,
Sure.
and then
how about apologizing?
Yeah.
yeah, and then all the I understand like this movie's to show like the extreme, I guess, what it's like to be a BMX rider, but a lot of the shit that these stuntmen were doing, it was very unbelievable. Like when he's running from the cop in the motorcycle, how did he get up that stack of logs 30 feet high? There's no way he rode his bike up those logs, or he's making these jumps or getting up on these hills. I'm like, how is he getting up there? There's no way he's getting up there with just leg power with his bike.
Planks.
No. There were planks laying at one scene. There was two planks laying like a ramp up on the logs.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Physics.
Yeah, it was just
all angles.
Those are hard to go over. That's why they have them in BMX races.
Yeah. It was just one bad. Go ahead, Ray.
Speaking of the races, didn't he like try and cheat a couple times?
He cheated a lot. He cheated a lot.
Cutting out of the trails. The main guy, just to stay qualified. He was cheating.
Yeah, and then if you notice one of the parts when he cheated, even the announcer, crew found himself a shortcut.
Yeah. Everyone else is, wait, we didn't know we can go outside the lines.
Yeah, it was just, this movie was just so unbelievable. I couldn't understand why a whole town could get behind this. The main villain guy with his henchmen, when he's like, "You're disqualified and you're the problem," and they come up with those rules he needed a sponsor.
Yeah, Toady.
Oh man, his acting was terrible.
We didn't have Bernie's guy.
Yeah.
Well, the acting was terrible all the way around, and not necessarily because of the actors.
The dialogue was terrible.
The dialogue was absolutely horrendous. But
when you had any.
But I don't know how he was directing this movie, where he was telling them to say things in very short bursts, because there'd be like, I say something, pause, I say something, pause. No one has a normal conversation. There's all these long pauses between their sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a porno. That's what it felt like. Like especially when he was like in the kitchen with his quote unquote mom. It's like one of those creepy porns because he's like obviously too old to be her son.
Apparently, he was 23 while playing a 17-year-old.
A scene was hilarious that I laughed out.
Older.
I laughed out loud. It was when him and Lori Loughlin get in that little tiff, and then like they make up in the next scene. They jump that huge ramp into the lake. You can clearly tell like Lori Loughlin, that was where she's wearing a hat, and you can tell like it's a wig and it's a fucking dude. I was laughing so hard when I saw that scene. I'm like, what's the fucking point of this?
Hilarious.
We were mad at each other, but now we're just gonna fucking jump into a lake with our bikes. And then they were making hot chocolate without milk. Like right, I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, they don't apologize to each other.
Yeah.
They just like, all right, let's go ride, let's go ass sliding. That's how our relationship works. We fight, we never resolve our issues.
And I can't believe when Cruz won, when he got qualified, and those two girls, hey, want to spend the afternoon with us? I got something sweet. But I'm like, what's wrong with you, Cruz? Go with those girls. What's wrong with you? You know, he's like, fuck, dude.
Everything about it was so funny.
It was ridiculous.
Drew is a stand-up guy. That's why he wasn't going with those hoes.
Well, I didn't understand the relationships. Like Ray Walston, the rich guy who at first is upset with Crew, but then he's more upset with Injustice.
Yeah.
And
why is he so rich?
Yeah, I'm going, why is he so rich? And why does the other guy seem to know him? And you know, I said there's got to be something they cut out of this movie.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it feels just joining. Like just like characters do things out of nowhere for no reason. And there's like he's an old man riding a bicycle, getting coffee to ride 2 feet. He's always trying to go to that other building right next door instead of walking. And he dresses well, but all of a sudden he just has an extra $27,000 just lying around to support.
They had to
all of a sudden starting to believe it.
They had to make sure everybody understood that this was a bicycle movie.
That's all it is. It's a gigantic
everybody had a bicycle.
And at some point, there must have been a different cut of this movie because according to Wikipedia, the end of the movie, the whole Mongoose team quits on Duke. Like the whole team quits.
Yeah.
The two brothers.
Like you never, and the female team and everybody, they all quit. And Crew offers Taylor a spot in Red Racing that was in there, while Duke is asked to resign from the FAB, that's the bike association that he was the president of. I said, when did that happen? I didn't see that.
So what you're saying, Jim, is there's a director's cut.
Maybe because this movie was released on Laserdisc.
Because I would love nothing more than to see a director's cut of Rad.
New scenes of Rad? What?
There's like 2 extra minutes.
Cool. Let's hear some more songs and some shitty bike.
1 minute and 56 seconds is more montage, but still.
Like I said, this movie had a budget of $3 million and raked in a cool $2 million.
Oh my God.
So it made its
classic, though.
It became
it's very underground.
Yeah, it was because it did become very popular on home video.
It did
because there obviously was nothing else to watch.
Maybe that's when BMX bikes started making a comeback, like Mongoose in like the early '90s. I could see that because I heard about Mongoose BMX bikes growing up. That's like the best of the best.
Well, actually, they were. I'll talk. We'll finish. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I'm going to give my opinions of this movie. It was incredibly terrible. It was worse than I remember it. But it had everything. It had every stereotype imaginable. It had, like Raymond was saying, the entire town's behind a fucking BMX or race. Like, who the hell? I could understand like some parents. Maybe, right. But not the entire town. Not people who don't know anything about BMX racing, like the housewife with the hots for Crew, holding 2 American flags in her hand the whole time. And I'm going like, what the fuck was that about?
It's patriotic. It's a parade.
It's in the director's cut, Jim.
and everyone in town is just like donating money to the cause.
Are you gonna
drop $600 on some crappy rad gear just so some kid can race in a bicycle race?
Yeah, what is he gonna do with that $100,000? Is he gonna give that back to those people, pay him back, and
he should
put it into the town? You know, I think it's because he just went one day and delivered newspapers correctly one time. They're like, he's a good guy. Here's $1,200
from the bitching that you guys are doing. You should get your money back too.
Yeah,
I should. I want my $4 back from Amazon.
The whatchamacallit.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah, but you gotta rent it.
Could you buy it on Amazon?
Yeah,
I need a better I need a better copy.
Yeah, you do, because that copy,
you get it from Laserdisc?
That copy was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, well, it was from a VHS.
Oh yeah, everything on Amazon I get, it looks pretty good. I put it on like filmmaker mode, so it's a little bit more grainy because that's how it was. But it looks perfect.
I'm going on.
Richie finally found a movie he'll spend money on.
I'm going on Amazon right now, buying it.
Please don't promote that movie anymore.
Yeah, so the qualifying race where he cheated up a storm. It's like I sat there and I'm going, he's cheating. He's cheating. It's right there. Why isn't everyone saying what it is? The guy went off the track and cut a corner out completely. I'm going, and the crappy dialogue, the terrible deliveries. I don't understand their relationship at all, Lori Loughlin and crew. They what the hell did they see in each other other than they rode bikes?
They could bike well and dance on bikes well. I found my partner finally. Where have you been my whole life?
And she just showed up too at the school dance and
right.
Like, she's not even from there. She just shows up and it's like, oh hey, want to?
Oh, these local kids are having a prom. We're gonna go do a choreographed dance with our spacesuits.
And then later in the movie, she's standing there. She's in a mongoose outfit.
Yeah, at the end.
At the end, and I'm going.
Did you hear what?
Did she ride for mongoose?
But did you hear what he said? He's like, I wish I could go ass sliding with you right now. And it's a whole white outfit, so we could like see through it. That's what he's like insinuating. Get her like wet t-shirt.
Well, yeah. I mean, the last time they went sliding, they were wearing like jeans and long sleeve shirts.
Man, I wish I could go ass sliding with you right now.
Purchased.
What a terrible way to say that you just want to hook up in the butt. Let's go ass sliding.
So they also, it was interminable, the introduction of, they introduced 19 riders.
Yeah. Like
in that whole scene. It's like, was that contractually obligated for him to showcase each and every rider?
They probably all were, like
pro riders.
That or like donated into the movie. It's, maybe.
Yeah.
And they had to get a shot of them for ad. The whole movie's an ad. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. You know who they didn't introduce, and he was one of my favorite riders back in the day. He was in the movie as one of the stunt riders. R.L. Osborne.
Who's that?
R.L. Osborne was just a famous BMX guy, and he rode for Redline, hence the RL.
Well, they had a few BMXers who were the stunt doubles for crew and Lori Loughlin and stuff. In fact, the one dude who kept crashing,
right?
They were paying him $500 a pop to crash.
Oh wow!
And he crashed 3 times, got $1,500.
Yeah, some of those crashes.
Because some of them he took a header, like on one where he seemed to land on his head. Yeah.
Yeah. It was he went up ramp, flipped, and boom, whacked his head hard. And it looked forced, like he did it on purpose. And I'm like, oh man.
He was trying to sell it.
Yeah. But it looked gnarly. A lot of head trauma there.
So I would give this movie the lowest rating I could possibly give it, and I would never want to see it again ever or hear about it ever again.
I second that.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible.
Let's see what some of the critics at
I don't get to give my.
Let's hear the silver lining.
So R.L. Osborne's first Winter Nationals in Chandler, Arizona. Anyway,
Why do you like this movie?
I
sell it. Tell us the good parts.
loved it.
So those that can't see, the whole time he was pausing for dramatic effect, he just put on a heart gif on the video chat.
Why did I like it?
I
because I rode bikes all the time. That's all I did. I even raced one race on a real BMX track.
Just nostalgic for that reason.
Of course. Now,
so I've done a lot of things that were in movies a lot. That does not mean I have to like the movie that they're doing the same thing that I did.
Yeah, but was it good? No. But was it cool? Yeah.
No, it was not cool.
There's not even good racing scenes or like
and a
tricks,
dance
nothing.
scene and a dance scene with bikes.
But you can tell they're like on platforms. Like only like a handful of shots were actually people on bikes doing the tricks. The best part was the intro and the outro, the two dudes playing music. And that was literally and they kept doing the same stuff over and over and over. They did the same tricks 4 times. I counted.
They left like a giant ass beam in the gym. It's like they were expecting two bikers to show up. I was like, come on. Left all that open space, those empty tables. Hey guys,
they utilized the hobby horse to do some tricks.
Oh boy.
Yes, the balance beam. They were all it was an impressive bike
right
trick.
there. Balance beam at the dance.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And like, get out of here with that.
See, if you guys rode BMX, you would think it would feel a little different.
All I know is everything the North Shore was, this was not.
No.
Yeah, North Shore worked. It worked. It was kind of the same concept.
I agree, but Rad has that little piece of my teenage years of riding bikes. When this came out, I was almost done riding bikes. I was 16.
That really solidified the deal, didn't it?
Well, I mean, at 16,
terrible, so
at 16, I got, I started driving. So I was just like, bikes were like, all right. But I had a mongoose. I had a red line, because me and my friends, we would all just trade frames all the time. So you would just, like any color you wanted. We're going to do blue now. So you would get, we would buy different tires and pads and shit like that. But we all of us, we traded each other's like frames because I had the mongoose. I was like, dude, I got a mongoose. This is fucking awesome. And my buddy Kenny had the red line. And a month later, we swapped them out, and then fucking Gary had a GT and fucking Z rims. Z rims were the fucking coolest rims ever. They were fiberglass rims. They had spokes, but if you bent the rim, you could put them in the freezer and they would straighten out.
What?
Literally.
Z rims?
Z rims, yeah.
Yes, that technology is fantastic, but this movie, we're talking about this movie. Your Z rims are great. I
had red
hail your Z rims, but
I like swapping out bike pieces with other bike pieces. Yeah, that's why this movie's pretty good.
I traded my skateboard straight for Z rims after I wiped out.
That's fantastic. You and your Z rims are fine. This movie is not fine.
Thank you, Jim.
Oh
shit.
All right. It wasn't great, but I like it. I'm watching it again. I just bought it.
Oh,
a copy.
Oh,
maybe you could put it in the freezer and never thawed out.
I bought it.
Yes, unfortunately, you're right. Putting this movie in the freezer will not straighten this movie out.
You know what? Fuck you guys. You made me watch a fucking fat kid meatballs. So
this movie is forever bent.
So much better.
We should watch Airborne. You want to see like a fun kind of like play for like a rollerblade movie now? That's what we need. Airborne.
A rollerblade movie?
Have you seen Airborne?
No.
Jim, have you seen it?
I don't want to see another movie like this. It's not a compete to see how bad a movie you can throw at somebody.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
We gotta find like hit movies that were like popular. These are so like bottom of the barrel, like straight to video movies. Sometimes I feel like That one in
Yeah,
particular.
but there are gems in there, much like like I said,
North Shore was a gem.
Yeah.
Pump Up the Volume, I thought was a gem. It was weird, but
right.
it's kind of a gem.
But the thing is, this movie is just bad. There's no redeeming quality to this movie. It's not like, oh, the acting sucks, but the bike riding looks really cool. The bike riding didn't even look really cool.
Yes.
Wow.
No, it looked terrible. It was boring. It was the same shots over and over in the race. You had to see the same shots 3 times.
Yeah. I saw 8 minutes of it in the beginning, and then they threw it at me at the end credits, too.
They couldn't end that movie quick enough to show them jumping on the bikes at the very end.
And there's that could have been the okay, well, the movie sucks, but hey, at least the writing's cool, and they do some gnarly tricks, like even like North Shore. But no, this is the same repetitive stuff, and it just felt like a giant commercial to sell you a bike.
Oh, here are some reviews. There were only 19 reviews back then, but
it just tells you everything right there.
But out of that 19 reviews, only 42% were positive. And I think that's high.
One of them said, yep, bikes.
Must buy bikes. Good movie.
Rad is a tedious exercise of endurance that has nothing to do with the number of bunny hops achieved. Any film calling itself Rad must be taken with a grain of salt, regardless of its subject matter. As it happens, the subject matter of Rad constitutes probably the dorkiest storyline we've seen this year.
That's much better.
The whole thing reminds you more of an over-anxious teacher or coach taking a few slang words and repeating them endlessly in a doomed attempt to relate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Connor's screen debut is inauspicious, to put it kindly, in the quality of both his acting and the material chosen, and someone else is obviously doing the writing.
That must suck. Like, that's your first role, and it just... That's garbage. Your first movie. But Lori Loughlin survived it, and so did...
This is my favorite one. The bicycle acrobatics behind the credits at the opening of Rad are so spectacular that you wonder what the movie can do to improve on them. The short answer is nothing. Yes, there were a couple of good reviews. Taken as a novelty of the mid to late 80s, 1986 Rad is charming in its silliness and camp. This movie was not campy. Camp is intentional.
This wasn't camp?
No. Like Batman 66 was camp. That was intentionally bad to be funny. This was just bad.
Tried too hard.
Wow. That's just...
That should be just what it's just called, bad. Just change one letter.
Bad.
Boy.
Yeah. Something else.
It was so bad that Carl didn't even commit to like sharing his audio like review of it through a phone. He's like, nah, I'm just good. I don't need to send anything.
Carl was probably like, I wouldn't even have been an extra in this movie.
But they did film it in his town, though. They filmed a lot of those jumps in his town.
I just saw this. This is one of the positive reviews. Provides viewers with a cool reminder of better days when conflicts were settled with BMX showdowns and nothing brought two lovers together more than an afternoon of ass sliding.
That's awesome.
In no real world situation has anything ever happened like this.
Ray,
Nothing.
Next time I see Eden, I'm going to be like, did Ray take you ass sliding yet?
Say, Aiden, we got to go get some Z chains.
Z-rims.
Z-rims, yeah.
Z-chains.
Whatever they're called.
Put the Z-rims in the freezer. We're going ass sliding.
Now we're talking.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
You guys are just wrong.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yes, so...
Wow.
So, watch it again?
No.
Yeah.
I
just funny?
Bought it.
You know,
so I have a better copy.
You know what movie came out that kind of parodies this a little bit is Hot Rod. Like I can see.
I was thinking
Hot Rod.
I was like, Hot Rod took a lot of like the dumb shit from Rad and applied it to their movie.
Yeah, I honestly felt like I was watching
intentional.
The dumb shit from Rad.
Hot Shot.
Yeah.
Which is rad.
Yeah.
Wow.
The dumb shit from Rad is rad.
Yeah, it is.
It was all dumb shit.
It was.
Wow. All right. Well, you know,
they spent $10,000 on goddamn t-shirt supplies.
It's not for everybody.
Yes.
That was 1986, $10,000.
Yeah, I was going to say that they could have spent $300 on all those shirts.
I just want to know how they landed Talia Shire. It's even the smallest role. She had four Rocky films under her belt at this point.
That was $2.5 million of the budget.
They go,
I can't believe it.
Talia, could you do Pissed Off? Because I got like a handful of scenes, so you just got to be pissed off and all.
She's like,
you're already pissed. You're already pissed. Stay like that. You don't want to be here. You don't want to work in this.
You've been pissed off since 1985 when Rocky left to fight the Russian in Russia. Keep that. Keep that.
You want that
attitude.
Look. Keep that
you
look.
Want that look. Yeah.
Literally, it's an afternoon. You're up here for something else anyway. Just come on at the afternoon. Make $2.5 million.
I believe it.
If there was a camera on me, I would have looked just like Talia Shire about watching this movie because I did not want to be there watching it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'll do it. Just send me the script.
One more scene too with Talia Shire, even though her scenes were very limited, she happens to come home, turn on TV, and what's playing on the TV?
She
her son's qualifying race.
Yeah, like, right when they announce his name.
Yeah.
Good timing. It was really good timing.
You defied me.
Yeah. Mom, I can go to school in like 6 months from now.
I can
that was another point.
I can take those SATs anytime. I'll play those Rangers.
Okay, you don't have to.
That's what we need to do.
We can't do that. They've seen it.
Mystery Alaska?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Fucking great movie.
Yeah. That movie.
We'll all be in agreement that movie still holds up.
Yeah.
I'm watching that tonight.
Okay. Play 'em.
I was one of 1,000.
Plenty of time.
Now I'm one of 20. And I could be the best in the world.
Yeah, dude, that's just some terrible writing. It's terrible.
I know
everything about that scene.
Any other kid who says that's their parent, like, shut up, you're going to school. That's a stupid dream. Get out of here.
But it was, I mean, like, you could just take it later and just apply to college. Like, you don't have to do it on one day.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity right now. Let me do this, and then I'll. But yeah, he doesn't need to give the best in the world speech. That's.
I'm done with you guys.
He was so annoying.
Richie cut off his video because we hate his movie.
That he left.
I'm done with you guys. Bye.
I'm sorry, Richie.
That's all right.
I know. I'm glad that you liked it, and it reminds you of your childhood.
There you go.
Frankensteining bikes together with your friends.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Z-rims, baby. That's going to come up on the show again.
Z-rims?
Yeah.
Z-rims.
You don't know unless you had Z-rims. And you don't know unless you were there.
Freeze
been me.
And been there. You've been there and been me. And know what the hell you're yelling about.
Yeah, the only modification I made on my bike was putting a baseball card in the back to make it sound like a motorcycle when I was a kid.
Yeah. Or pegs. Remember
we
pegs?
all did that.
Oh, yeah, pegs too.
I once took my bike, and because I didn't feel like walking it down the cellar stairs to put it away, I just let it go and let it go down by itself, and then it got all fucking bent up, and I couldn't ride it anymore.
That's where it stayed.
Honestly, quick question though about these Z-rims. How did you put them in a freezer? Like I can't even think.
My mom was so pissed. My mom was so pissed.
They're like an actual bicycle rim. You stick it in the freezer. How big was your refrigerator growing up?
It was not big.
Was it an ice chest?
My mom was pissed. My mom was fucking livid.
You put it all on your dirty ass bike rim on all the frozen
I literally just took.
Dude, I'd be pissed.
I took the tire off because it wouldn't fit with the tire in there, so I had to take the tire and tube off and then stick it in there. And I was like, sure as shit. Woke up the next day. My mom was pissed.
Was it an actual freezer, like above the refrigerator, or like an ice chest?
Like a fucking apartment fridge.
Oh man.
Yeah, I jammed it in there.
I was about to say, how does that fit? Who designs a bike rim to go in somebody's household freezer? Like, how is that a selling point?
Exactly.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
How do you
Don't know.
Well, you put this in the freezer. Well, most freezers are smaller than bike rims.
Yeah.
Well, you can put it in a chest freezer. You see, or a walk-in.
All I know is you can flex the shit out of it, and if it was too bad, you put it in the freezer, and you were golden. It trued your rim.
I think you're misremembering Z rims, man. There's got to be. There's no way putting it in the freezer straightens a bent rim.
Yeah.
I'm looking through this too. I'm seeing a lot of things online saying it's an urban myth.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Then where is the product? I should be able to buy it now. That is a fantastic product that every time you bend your rim, you just throw it in a freezer.
It was fiberglass, so it wasn't metal. So it bent a little, you put it in, trued the rim.
But that's not what fiberglass does when you put it in a freezer.
Or freezing things.
I don't know.
Freezing things doesn't relax stuff.
It does the opposite.
Hey man, I put it in the freezer. I rode the next day.
I put squishy stuff in there. It comes out like rock hard, like rips. Yeah. How does
all I know is
bend and relax metal?
I did it and I got yelled at.
Yeah, I did it. I had a flat spot on my big wheel, and I put that in the freezer. And then when I rode it, it was that flat spot, because you see, big wheels had hard plastic wheels. And
they had big wheels too. Didn't you guys have big wheels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody had big wheels.
And occasionally they would crack, and you would get a flat spot on the wheel.
Of course, where you skidded. So yeah, there you go.
That your green machine.
So remember when you guys were saying you put cards in your spokes? I used to. I had this thing, and I believe you bought it for me, Jim, because you saw it at Toys R Us. It was called the Raw Machine.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
because I worked for Toys R Us for a while, so
yeah,
I saw a lot of toys.
It was a thing you put on. It replaced one of your grips, and it had this little like speaker.
Yeah, and you just twist it.
You twist it and it goes. It was fucking yeah. It was called. I think it was called the Raw Machine.
Yeah, it worked too. Yeah, and it was not like battery operated. It made the noise somehow with some internal gearing system.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I liked it.
Yeah, everything's saying it's a rumor and an urban myth about shit in a freezer to straighten
a rib.
Well, all I know is I put it in and my mom yelled at me.
And then I'm sure you may have tried to straighten a rim in the freezer. I'm just telling you, it didn't straighten.
Yeah, did it work when your mom made you pull it out, or it wasn't in there long enough?
I put it on. I rode. It was fine. So yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I couldn't keep it in. I couldn't do it often. It was a
like watching this movie. We can't do that often.
Great point. That's a great.
All right. Get it out.
Man.
Get it out.
All right. So what are we doing next week? What do you guys want to
Rad
watch?
2.
Rad. Well, like, what would you call Rad 2? Like Rad Radical. The Revenge?
I don't know.
Or you just call it Rad Racing. That's the sequel.
Yeah. Rad.
We're doing Jaws. We're doing Jaws.
Yeah, he's like in his 30s or late 20s. He's running a multi-billion-dollar industry, and then there's another version of him that comes up, some rookie kid that he has to go prove his.
It's like
the rookie kid's kind of a dirty guy and cheats just as bad as he cheated, so he has to face his demons. Rad Racing.
Rad. The Mongoose Strikes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I like that. Revenge the Mongoose.
That'll be like their Empire Strikes Back. You see.
Yep. And Brad's really his father.
Next week we're doing Jaws the Revenge.
No.
Seen that. No.
Yeah.
No Jaws.
All right. Well, we got like One Crazy Summer.
Ooh.
That's on their Roku channel. That is a comedy, and it stars John Cusack.
Okay, I'd be down for that.
And Demi Moore.
I
love Cusack. Yes. I love me some Cusack.
And
back to back John Cusack.
And Bobcat Goldthwait.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I need a comedy after this movie.
We need something fun. We haven't done a comedy actually yet, have we?
I don't think so.
Well, if they consider
Bonsai, maybe.
and they consider Dr. Detroit a comedy, so
oh yeah,
yes, we did do a comedy and a funny one called Dr. Detroit.
I'll watch that tonight too.
Yeah. So one crazy summer. Apparently, it's on the Roku channel for free.
What's the Roku channel?
I have a Roku, one of those
TV.
Roku TVs, so I could tune in the Roku channel.
Oh, okay. I don't
have a Roku. It's just on Amazon. That's where I get them all.
Well, but I think you may be able to.
It's on Tubi.
Oh,
it's on Tubi.
I think Tubi is on Amazon, isn't it? Like for free. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, there's a lot on Tubi for free. Like Real Men is on Tubi. Richie.
Real Men. That's what we should do.
You have seen that one.
Let's do one crazy
summer. All right.
All right.
I'm down for that.
All right, boys.
Well, you can email us if you wish at flashbackfaceoff@gmail.com. All one word, except the @gmail.com portion. Or go to destroyallmovies.net. One of our
Damnshow.co.
Damnshow.co. That's it.
Damnshow.co.
Woo.
So until next time, where we'll be bringing you
One Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer from 1986. Another 86.
Sweet.
A lot of 86s.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a good movie in that year, so let's find it.
Aliens. Aliens came out in 86.
Oh, so yeah. Winner.
Well, it wasn't as good as Rad.
Oh, come on.
It paled in comparison.
Aliens can be an argument for greatest sci-fi film ever made.
It can.
It's in the argument. It's in the argument. All I'm saying. I personally think
Terminator 2 Judgment
is. That's my pick for the greatest sci-fi film
amazing,
ever.
that movie. Just the whole concept of it.
The Aliens is up there.
Until next week.
Yes. Until next time, he's Richie.
I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
I'm Jason.
I'm Ray.
And they're all part of the Rad team.
Nope. I'm on Mongoose.
Did not meet the sponsors.
We all raise our bike in salute, which they did at the end for some reason.
Yes, hooray. Hooray for Rad.
Hooray.
God.